All right, so first time your torch was snuffed, man. How did that feel?
I was just trying to take in the moment, honestly. I really was because obviously I had never experienced that. But Nick, I'm not lying. I was happy to go to Ponderosa and have a few drinks and be treated like royalty. I was looking forward to it, but I think more so than that, now I'm part of a jury and like I can finally let go and watch this game from the jury. And obviously if you go on Survivor you should win and you'd want to win, but be like sitting on the jury feels just not just as good, but it feels really good because I get to watch the game and I know that I get to vote for someone at the end. So it was all love.
Well, pregame, so many people told me how big of a threat you were and that they had to get you out. So props for making it as far as you did, first
Thank
of
you.
all. Now, Jonathan seemed to really be holding a grudge against you stemming from the Charlie vote. Were you aware that that was still so top of mind for him?
Yeah, we should like rewind even more to that because yes, he was holding a grudge from the Chardy vote, but him and I were never aligned on OG Kahlo. Like it was evident where the lines were. He was with Coach and Chrissy, and I was with Tiff and Camilla. Like we all knew that, and you see it in episode one. He's saying my name. I mean, I knew that. Everybody was telling me that on OG Kahlo. So there was the grudge. I it turned into a grudge, but we were coming at each other from day one. You know what I mean? So
Mm.
it was just a matter of like who was gonna get who first. And had I even, let's say I decided to vote Rizzo out, they were gonna come for me on this episode. They were gonna come for me on this vote. So I am no regrets.
Was there anything we didn't see in that argument or around the same time at the beach? Because everything seemed to really, tensions were really building at that point.
Yeah, so the argument was a little bit different than what you guys saw. So it basically stemmed from Jonathan and I having a conversation on the beach, and he asked me if I trusted Coach, and I said no. And so then he went up to Coach on the hammock and said, Dee doesn't trust you. And that's when you see me walking up to the hammock and saying, "What's up, Coach? Why do you look sad?" And then that's when it happened. And, they're saying I'm spreading all these lies. There was no lie I was spreading there. I think it just stemmed from OG Kalo where I had done a fashion show and all the men thought I had an advantage. So they thought I was like going around spreading lies. What really bothered me was when I'm like, arguing with Coach and then Jonathan gets in it because it's like when you like growing up, my mom was always like, don't get involved in adult conversations. If you see people talking, don't get involved. And he did that. And that's what pissed me off. And
Mm.
then like Joe slowly coming in and it was just like, a bomb in front of me of like people that I don't want to talk to right now. But at that point, I knew I was going home because this was right before tribal. And in my head, I'm like, I'm just going to unleash because if I'm going to go home, I'm going to go home telling everybody what I think. I'm not going to go home quiet.
Yeah, we love to see it. We love to see it.
Yeah.
Now, with Kyle and Savannah out of the game, did you feel excess pressure or your target increasing being the only winner left standing?
Yeah. Unfortunately, yes. And I remember Christian sat me down at the merge and was like, I hope you don't think this is like a winner massacre. And I'm like, it is though. Um, but either way, I mean, anything in hindsight, right? You can do better, but I was going to be gone. This was not my season. I knew I had an expiration date. I actually knew that even going in, I packed a bunch of jury clothes, which is not something that I did on season 45. But for this season, I'm like, all right, I have an expiration date. This is not going to be my season. Am I crazy enough to think that I can win again? Yes, absolutely. Because you really never know what Jeff's going to throw at us. But yeah, I knew I had an expiration date, so I was just trying to have as much fun as I can and play as hard as I can because there was no way that I was going to play somebody else's game.
Okay, so Dee's going to be serving looks on the jury. You heard it
Hell
here
yeah.
first. All right, so on TV, Rizzo was kind of positioned as the star of the Charlie vote, but both Camilla and Charlie have both given you credit for what went down at that tribal.
Yeah.
How did it go down from your perspective, and any thoughts about how that edit made that look?
The Chardy vote was my vote. It was just shown in the perspective of Rizzo, and I've gotten calls and texts. Are you upset that I'm like, not really, because they showed me in the hammock saying, Rizzo, let's do this with the girls, right? And maybe in that moment, Rizzo's confessionals were better than mine. I was positioned great. Like I was actually even saying in my confessionals, obviously they didn't show it, how like they should be coming for me. Like this is the perfect time to come for me. But I had the two sides wanting to work with me. I had never played middle. I was going to piss somebody off anyway. So I rather piss somebody off that I know could be a potential ally in the future than Jonathan, who has been coming for me since day one. You know what I mean? So I was positioned well. I loved Rizzo from the moment that we started talking strategy. We'd like talk at night a lot. And I trusted, like immediately trust. And he gave me information. Yeah. And I was just like, all right, well, this is my time because Charlie hasn't been, in from my perspective, a great ally by keeping things hidden from me, right? Like you're playing defense, but you're not really playing offense with me. And so I had felt my wits about Charlie. And I also didn't want to make the merge and have Jonathan, Coach, and Charlie together. Because
Mm.
in OG Calo, they were always together, like outwardly together, which is fine. Me, Camilla, and Tiff were always outwardly together. But the guys were, well, Coach was asking me, was actually sat me down once and said, hey, I'm kind of like nervous about you, Tiff, and Camilla. And I'm like, well, Coach, what about you, Jonathan, and Charlie? But yeah, it was my move. It was just shown in Rizzo's perspective. However, Rizzo still played a role. Like you see him making his rounds. Like, yes, I was also making my rounds. But again, I think because also I go out this episode and it doesn't, the storyline ends there. They're like,
Mm.
all right, let's show it from Rizzo's perspective. Whatever the reason, I don't care. I don't lose sleep over it.
Now, Emily flipping, spilling secrets left and right over this
She's
island.
awesome.
Did you ever think she would dog you like that?
I didn't think she would dog me like that soon. I know
Okay.
Emily would have come for me eventually. I do think it was a mistake for her to come for me that soon because I told her from the beginning, I got your back. I will give up my game for you to win. Like I was the reason she was voted off, but she was also the reason why I won. One of the reasons why I won $1 million. So
Mm.
to me, like, dude, I will serve as a shield. I will serve as your ride or die protector. So I really was hoping that we would like make a comeback, but I was in no point thinking about turning on her. Obviously, given had I made it to the end again, okay, that's a different story. But I was more than willing to like even blow up my game for Emily. So it kind of hurt that it happened so early, but I knew it was eventually going to happen.
Now
Yeah,
let's talk about Coach a little bit. This edit from my couch, I'm loving all the Coach this show is
I
giving me.
agree. I
But
agree.
for you guys who had to live with him during those days, what was it like dealing with those shenanigans?
Look, when I watch the show, I laugh because he is casting, whoever casted this man many years ago won the lotto for sure.
Oh yeah.
Playing with him was a little bit different because Emily kind of, she speaks a lot better than I do. She said it perfectly. I think he thought he was playing like this huge strategic game and like low key game, but really it was very messy in the way that he approached people and people talk and you're going to hear you just trying to play every side and spilling beans here and there. But it was fun. It was fun. Sometimes it got a lot when he would like say his stories and you're just like around camp, like tired. And but yeah, it was interesting to play with him.
Now during tribal council, you did a last minute scramble, kind of
Yeah.
whispering in people's ears. Was that a last ditch effort? Did you know you were
Uh,
like kind of screwed at that point?
it was funny because coach heard me say his name. I'm
Oh.
tribal. He's like, I heard that. Like, I'm like, oh, my bad. No, that was a last minute scramble. It was like my attempt of like, if I'm gonna go down, I knew I was going home. I had known it for a few days already. So if
Mm.
I was gonna go down, I wasn't gonna go down by just talking and just sitting still, right? I would at least try something because you never know. Really, it's
Mhm.
Survivor 50. You never know. The moment where my ball dropped from the immunity, I knew I was going home. Like I could feel people staring at me. For me, going into 50, I didn't need to validate my feelings. I didn't need to protect the reputation. Like nothing that I did on 50 was ever going to mess up what I did on 45. You know what I mean?
Totally.
And if anything, I feel like a much more bold version of myself and much more carefree. And it was very free to play a game like that. And again, like it comes from a place of privilege because I won my season, and not a lot of people can say that they felt like that on 50, given whatever happened on their first, second, whatever season. But I knew I was going home and I was ready. I was ready to eat. I was ready to go drink and shower. I'm like, you know what? This is an experience I've never had. I've never experienced Ponderosa. I've never
Yeah.
experienced the jury. Like, let's do this. This is awesome. Jeff comes up to you after everyone's voted off. He's, how are you feeling? I'm like, dude, I am so good. I'm so good. I'm very happy to even be here. And it's
Mm.
just a lot of gratitude.
Now we got to talk about the Zach Brown reward
I
for a bit.
forgot that happened. Yeah,
Tell me
yeah,
a little bit about why losing that reward was so hard on you.
yeah. Dude, okay. So first of all, my brother taught me country music. And so Zach Brown is one of the first country artists that he even taught me
Mm.
about. Like my brother knows his songs on the guitar. Like that is how his music connects me to my brother, right? The thing that you guys didn't see, which was, I swear I cannot make this up. The night before the reward with Zach Brown, I asked Jonathan, who are your favorite country artists in front of everyone? We were all like there. And he asked me, and I said, Chris Stapleton, Luke Combs, Zach Brown. I
Mm.
literally said that the night before, that even like months later, some of the producers were like, dude, there's no way. Like, how did you even say that? So basically, when Jeff was explaining it, I was like, there's no way it's Zach Brown. But I think it just hit me because, and I said this on the island, I'm like, dude, I don't know much about you as a person, but I love your music. And like, you really do change lives with your music. And I think for me, I was sad to not experience that because I had already seen him in concert in 2019 with my brother. Like, we saw him in concert. So it's not about going to one of his concerts. It's about experiencing live music. The people who know me, I love going out to like live jazz bars, like very
Mm.
intimate spots. And I love music. I am the person people give their phones to, like, here, put on music. Or, hey, D, what's the latest album? I don't keep up with TV. I don't keep up even with reality TV, but I do keep up with music. And I love, love, love music. Anytime someone drops from rap to country to reggaeton, salsa, like anything. So to me, it was just that experience I'm never gonna be able to experience.
Okay, last question, D. If there's another returnee season down the road, maybe a new era All Stars of some sort, are you ready for a third round at this?
No, I will always say yes to Survivor. They know it. In a heartbeat. I love the game. I love the people in it, the people that run it. I will go in a heartbeat. I will be 80 years old and I'll play Survivor if they ask me. Just because I love the game. It's the best game in the world, and when you get asked for an opportunity this big, there's no way you can ever say no.